The tragedy of Kathy Bates is beyond heartbreaking, as the 77-year-old Oscar-winning actress has quietly retreated from the spotlight while facing painful battles that few truly understand. Despite her legendary career and powerful screen presence, Kathy now lives with the scars of survival. A woman who has conquered fame, cancer, and heartbreak, yet carries the weight of it all in silence. As her story unfolds, what lies behind that brave smile reveals a life far more complicated than the Hollywood success we all remember. And in this video, we'll uncover every layer of her journey, from triumph to tragedy, and everything in between. Stay with me till the end. Long before Hollywood knew her name, Kathy Bates was just a determined young woman from Memphis, Tennessee, chasing a dream few believed she could reach. She didn't fit the traditional Hollywood mold, not the glamorous ingenue studios sought, but she had something rarer: grit and fire. After studying theater at Southern Methodist University, she moved to New York, where rejection became her daily reality. Casting directors dismissed her, telling her she wasn't leading lady material. Yet, Kathy refused to surrender. She waited tables, auditioned endlessly, and poured her heart into every small stage role she could find, believing that talent would one day speak louder than looks. Those early years shaped her resilience and her truth. That real success doesn't come from being chosen, it comes from refusing to give up. Kathy once said, "They told me I didn't fit the mold, so I decided to break it." That defiant spirit would one day make her not just a star, but a symbol of every dreamer who dared to keep fighting when the world said no. Kathy Bates' defining moment came in 1990, when she stepped into the role of Annie Wilkes in Misery, a performance that would forever change her life and Hollywood's perception of her. Until then, she had spent years playing supporting parts, often overlooked despite her undeniable talent. But Misery was different. Her portrayal of the obsessive fan wasn't just terrifying, it was magnetic, layered, and deeply human. The world suddenly saw what Kathy had always known: that power and presence don't come from perfection, but from authenticity. When she won the Academy Award for Best Actress, it wasn't just a personal triumph. It was a statement to every overlooked actor who had ever been told they weren't enough. Yet behind the celebration lingered quiet exhaustion. Success had come late, after decades of rejection and struggle, and she carried the emotional weight of every no she had ever heard. In that moment of victory, the applause was deafening. But for Kathy Bates, it was also bittersweet. A reminder that even dreams fulfilled can carry the echoes of old wounds. Behind Kathy Bates's calm, reassuring smile lies a story of private pain that few ever saw. A battle fought not under the bright lights of Hollywood, but in the quiet corners of hospital rooms and sleepless nights. In 2003, when the world saw her as one of the most confident and commanding actresses of her generation, Kathy received news that shattered her world. She had ovarian cancer. The diagnosis came suddenly, and the fight that followed tested not only her body, but her spirit. She went through surgeries, chemotherapy, and months of recovery, all while keeping much of her struggle hidden from the public eye. On screen, she continued to exude strength. Off screen, she was simply trying to survive. That duality, the public's admiration and her private suffering, became a defining part of her story. Kathy's victory over cancer was hard-won, but fate would test her again nearly a decade later. This time, it was breast cancer. When doctors told her she needed a double mastectomy, she described the moment as surreal, like watching her life play out from a distance. She made the brave choice to speak openly about it later, telling fans, you don't feel whole anymore. It was a rare glimpse into the pain behind the fearless persona. After the surgery, Kathy developed lymphedema, a painful, lifelong condition that causes chronic swelling in her arms. The disease restricted her mobility, made even small tasks exhausting, and served as a constant reminder of what she had lost. But instead of retreating, she transformed her pain into purpose. Kathy became an outspoken advocate for cancer survivors and those living with lymphedema, lending her name and time to organizations that bring awareness and hope. Even as she faced her own physical limits, she refused to let them define her. "You have to keep moving," she said once. "If you stop, the pain wins." Her words reveal the heart of her resilience, not denial of suffering, but a determination to live alongside it. To the world, Kathy Bates remains a powerhouse, the woman who could silence a room with a single look. But to those who truly listen, her story is not about fame or fortune. It's about survival, grace, and the quiet courage it takes to keep smiling when life keeps testing your strength. Throughout her career, Kathy Bates became known for portraying women who were fierce, complex, and unapologetically real. Characters who mirrored her own strength and vulnerability. From Dolores Claiborne to American Horror Story, she brought a raw honesty that few actors could match. Yet behind every powerful role was a woman quietly searching for peace. Fame had given her recognition, but it had also taken pieces of her personal life. She never married, and while she rarely spoke about it, she once hinted that love often slipped away in the shadow of her career. "It's hard to build a life when you're always becoming someone else," she admitted. Acting had been her salvation, but also her solitude. Each role seemed to echo a part of her: the pain, the courage, the need to be understood. Kathy often said that her characters allowed her to release what she couldn't express in her own life. And through them, she found something close to healing. A way to show the world that brokenness and brilliance can live side by side, and that strength doesn't always look like victory. Now at 77, Kathy Bates lives a quieter, more reflective life, far removed from the dazzling lights that once followed her every step. Friends say she's found peace in solitude, spending more time with nature, reading, and advocating for causes close to her heart. Yet behind that calm exterior lingers a quiet melancholy, the kind that comes from a lifetime of battles fought and survived. The industry that once celebrated her now feels distant, a chapter slowly closing. Her health challenges have made her more selective about appearances, but her voice remains strong, especially when speaking for those living with lymphedema. "You learn to live alongside the pain," she once said, and that's its own kind of grace. In many ways, Kathy has become what she portrayed on screen, a symbol of endurance, dignity, and truth. She no longer chases applause. She values peace over fame, silence over spotlight. And as she looks back on her remarkable journey, she reminds the world that even in isolation, there is beauty in survival. And that strength, at its purest, is found in acceptance. Kathy Bates's story isn't just about tragedy. It's about resilience. It's about the price of surviving in a world that celebrates perfection while punishing imperfection. Her life reminds us that real strength isn't in pretending to be unbreakable. It's in being broken and still choosing to go on. If this story touched your heart, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe for more powerful stories like this one. And don't go yet. Click the next video on your screen for another untold Hollywood journey that will move you beyond words.